December is always a crazy month for books because I get a lot of them as gifts. And so let's just dive right into this book haul. I'm going to start off with something special though. I did buy one copy, but I got another one for free. Weird Frequencies, edited by Jake at Pulp Mortem. This has one of my stories in it. The story is called Darkness Shared. It is the second one in here, and this is an anthology of a bunch of weird booktubers. Now, they might be weird themselves, but also they are fans of the weird. So this is heavily inspired by science fiction of the 40s all the way to the 60s. Lots of very pulpy things going on in here in the best way possible. You can get a copy on Amazon. It is mass market paperback size, which is a perfect homage to the stories that influenced this collection. I'm going to do a separate video at some point about my story, and I will probably keep promoting the crap out of this in a bunch of videos just to see how popular it can get. I had a lot of fun writing the story for this, and I have had a lot of fun reading the stories in this. I'm still not done with it. I've been taking my time, but I have quite a few people that have started reading it and have said the stories are very good. There's quite a few gems in here. So yes, please go pick up a copy of Weird Frequencies. It's on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. I don't get any money for it or anything. We're selling it as cheap as we can. It's basically at cost because we just want as many people as possible to read it. Now that commercial's done, let's move on to the other stuff I bought or was gifted to me. My wife picked up a copy of Guns by Ed McBain because she just saw it out there and it was dirt cheap. And it is a New York crime novel about some dudes robbing places, I assume with guns. You know, you can't really go wrong with Ed McBain. I really like his writing. I haven't read enough of him, so I'm looking forward to getting to that eventually. I picked up another rare Robert E. Howard book. This is The Vultures, which is just two novelettes. One of them, I think, is called The Vultures, and it's a Western story, which should be obvious by the Native American-ish guy on the cover holding a revolver while wearing a cowboy hat. I just grabbed this because it's Robert E. Howard. I have a huge pile of Robert E. Howard books I have never seen in anyone else's collections, and every time I go to recycled books, there's another one there, and so I buy it. I'm not going to say no to a Robert E. Howard book that is hard to find. It may not be super expensive or anything, but I like having them. It's a cool collection to have. I can read pretty much everything he's ever written digitally because a lot of it is in the Internet Archive or it is just easily found digitally. But I like the physical stuff. It's fun to have a collection. This next book keeps getting recommended to me, so I am going to read it this year. I don't know when. I had it on audio on my phone for a long time and I never got to it. I need to put it back and just find a time to read it. That is 5 Decembers by James Kestrel. Look at that wonderful cover. This is a new crime fiction story that takes place in World War II. It's from Hardcase Crime, which has republished a lot of stuff that's been out of print from like Donald E. Westlake. There's Stephen King in there. There's a Roger Zelazny like thriller novel that was published by them. I don't think it had ever been published until then. I want to find a copy of that. I think it's only in paperback. I wish it was in a beautiful hardcover like this. Hardcase is really cool. It's one of those publishers that would get me in trouble because I now own one copy, and every time I grab another one, I'm going to feel compelled to get more of them. I used to have a bunch of the Michael Crichton ones. I ended up getting rid of them because I didn't care about any of the stories. I read the back and was like, I don't care. I think I had 4 of them. I got rid of those. So now I only have 1, so I'm a little less compelled to collect them all. These next 6 books, as you see them, you'll understand why I freaked out when I found all of them on the shelf in one place. It has more than doubled my collection of hardcovers from this author, and I think I'm over halfway done collecting every book in the series in hardcover now. I'm talking about John D. McDonald's Travis McGee series. I've picked up Cinnamon Skin. This one is a book club edition. It's in okay shape. Like the book itself is in good shape. The dust jacket is a little rough on the bottom. And each of these was like $6, which blew my mind. So we've got Cinnamon Skin, one of the later novels. I like this McGee novel. I don't think it's anywhere near the top half of like the highest quality ones because it kind of recycles a few things from earlier stories, but that's okay. Got The Turquoise Lament in hardcover. This is a book club edition. I thought it was a first edition initially, but it doesn't have a price in the dust jacket, which is a dead giveaway for a book club edition. It's either that or on the back down here, there's usually like a 4-digit code, and this does not have a price, but it doesn't have the 4-digit code either, so I was a little confused. But yeah, Turquoise Cement, that is a very good one. This next one, I never thought I would find. It is a book club edition, but it is a very cool book club edition because it is book 4, 5, and 6 in the series in hardcover, and it's called Shades of Travis McGee. We've got The Quick Red Fox, Pale Gray for Guilt, and Dress Her in Indigo. I was wrong. This is not 4, 5, and 6. This is 4, 9, and like 11 or 10. I don't remember, which is weird. I think that is one of the reasons I was kind of confused by it even existing, because The Quick Red Fox is the 4th book. I just read Pale Gray for Guilt not too long ago. That was book 9, and Dress Her in Indigo. Once I said that out loud, I was like, wait a second, that's not right, because Dress Her in Indigo is one of the later ones. It's like unsettling. That one has one of his better endings. Like, his endings aren't what make him shine as a writer, but in Dress Her in Indigo, you get to the end and you're like, cool, he won, he succeeded. But in his success, it just feels like failure, which is one heck of a way to end a book. This one is one of the rarer books that I got, and I only got it for $6.50. I don't know why they had it labeled as a book club edition, because it has a price tag and it says second printing. So this is not a first edition, because the first edition was paperback, but A Purple Place for Dying, book 3 in the Travis McGee series. This is the hardcover that Lippincott released after they started publishing the new McGee novels in hardcover. They went back and published all of them in hardcover. They're very expensive if you try to collect them all. I will eventually, and I can't believe that I found one in pretty good shape for $6.50. Crazy. It's like a $50 book. There is a copy of this at a local library to me, and I just kept looking at it. I'm like, oh, so beautiful. I wonder if they'll ever sell it, like get rid of it. But also, I don't want them to get rid of it, because it is great to see a local library have a Travis McGee novel in rotation. Sometimes I think about just checking it out just so that it's like getting attention so that they won't get rid of it. But I don't know how any of that works, so probably wouldn't. Another late McGee novel in the series, in not the best shape, but is a first edition, first printing, The Empty Copper Sea. I don't remember this one at all when I look at the cover, because one, that is a very generic cover, and let's see what this story was about. Yeah, I don't remember this at all beyond the beginning of the story. That's really weird, considering I've read it less than 6 months ago. So maybe this is the most forgettable in the series. I guess I'll find out when I reread it sometime this year. I'm very hyped that I got it in hardcover. This last one, this is a first edition, first printing. This is one of the later McGee novels that really sticks in your mind, because wow, is it messed up in a lot of ways. Free Fall in Crimson. This book is very good, and I can't believe that I have this wonderful first edition, first printing hardcover. There's a little bit of staining on the pages, but it's not awful. It looks like, I don't know, coffee or something got splashed on it. But the binding's in really good shape. The dust jacket's in really good shape, so I'm not complaining. It looks like it's never been read, which is sad, because this one will get read. This is one of the ones that I finished by reading with my eyeballs. I do them on audio because the narrator is very good. Robert Petkoff is amazing. He is Travis McGee, and I just wanted to finish the book. And I knew I wouldn't have time the next day to listen to it. So I just pulled out my physical copy, not that one, my older physical copy, and read it before bed, and didn't get any sleep, and just read the whole thing. I thought I was going to at least kind of get a decent chunk done. Read the whole thing. That one's very good. That one involves a lot of people from earlier books. Some of it takes place in Iowa, which is interesting because it takes place in parts of Iowa I have been to. But beyond that, I wouldn't want to spoil it, except that it has one of those endings that, wow, it's like a Dress Her in Indigo ending. Travis McGee won, but he lost. These next 5 were Christmas gifts. My brother-in-law likes to buy me books. He's not a reader, but that doesn't stop him from buying books for me and fueling my addiction. And so I made a list of pretty much everything I would want from my Amazon wish lists that I thought he would like to buy me, and he just got to pick whatever. And my other brother-in-law decided to do the same thing, so I got them kind of mixed up, so I'm not really sure which one was from who. I talked to him about it when I got them, but anyways, I got Pirate Freedom, a Gene Wolfe chapter guide, and this is just a summary of each chapter to help you better understand the story. I don't think the story is going to be confusing, but Pirate Freedom is going to be my next Gene Wolfe read, so I'm very glad that my brother-in-law got me this cool summary. My wife picked this up for me. I've already read it. I adore it, and I'm so happy that I have a physical copy. That is My F***ing Life by Geddy Lee. The best thing about this is it is full of pictures I didn't get to see while I did the audiobook. The best thing about the audiobook is it's narrated by Geddy Lee, so he is telling you his life story, but the problem with it is you don't get any of the amazing pictures. And now I have both, because I will read this again, and even if I just do the audio again. That won't stop me from flipping through this and looking at the pictures, and I'm probably going to do that as soon as I'm done filming this video because I really enjoyed the book, and as a Rush super fan, this is like a must-own book. I really enjoy tabletop RPGs. Like, I'm borderline obsessed with them. It's one of those hobbies of mine that I spend way too much time thinking about, and I don't have enough time to do it. I need to make time. I was gifted designing tabletop RPGs for dummies. I love the For Dummies books. I know some people poo-poo them, but they are a really good introduction to a lot of subjects, and I own probably 20 or 30 of them because I'm a dummy and I like books for dummies. This one has an introduction by Joseph Goodman. He created Dungeon Crawl Classics and all the other goodies at Goodman Games, and so to have him discuss tabletop RPG design, and then this gets into the nitty-gritty in a way that I haven't seen from anyone else. I've read a lot of the Kobold guides to designing tabletop RPGs and a bunch of articles about designing RPGs. This breaks down the math. It breaks down the mechanics. It tells you why things work the way they work in tabletop RPGs in a way I hadn't really seen in other books. And the cool thing about the For Dummies books is you don't have to read them cover to cover. You can just flip through and find something you're interested in or skip stuff you don't care about, like finding a publisher or assembling your production team. I don't care about that. This is a one-man operation. You think I can afford to have anyone else help me design a tabletop RPG? I can barely afford the time to play tabletop RPGs, let alone design them. So I'm looking forward to reading more from this. So far, I've just flipped through it. But yeah, designing tabletop RPGs. As you all know, my project for the 2025 was reading Lois McMaster Bujold's bibliography. I read all but 5 books, maybe 6, I don't know. And that's okay, because I read 90-ish% of her stuff, so I kind of have a grasp on who she is as a writer. Well, anyways, people know that I love her writing, and I got Henric's Progress, which is the first 3 novellas in the series in internal chronological order, and this is great because it has some of the best art for any Bujold book, and this art is by Dan Dos Santos, and I love it. The thing about Penric is Desdemona is his demon that is inside of him, and before Penric, she had only been she, because her name is Desdemona, the majority of, or all of her other possessions were of women or female animals. And what's really cool is the cover art has all of the women, and it has the mare, and it has the lioness. I think it's a lioness. So it's just really cool to have this young, lean Penric with all these women surrounding him. It's just a really beautiful piece of art, and I wanted physical copies of the Penric books. I'm gonna be going with the Bane books that bind them up because I cannot afford all the Subterranean Press ones, so I'll get as many of them as possible in Bane bind-ups, and then the last few, hopefully I can get them in Subterranean Press for a reasonable price. My wife picked me up one of the missing books from my collection, and that's Burner by Mark Greaney. This is one of the Gray Man novels, and I am like 2 hardcovers away from having all of them that were published in hardcover. If he comes back to my area for book signing this year, I'm going to ask him if there's any chance that the earlier books will get published in hardcover, like republished, because that would be outstanding. I don't know if his publisher wants to do it or thinks it's worth the money. I really wish they would just do a Kickstarter or something, because I would really like to have the first, I think 6 or 7 books weren't published in hardcover, and that would be great to just have this awesome wall of Mark Greaney novels in hardcover, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm just going to have to be happy with owning all of them physically, and I'm 2 books away from finishing my physical collection, and luckily those are in hardcover, and so I should be able to pick them up for a reasonable price, and that's it. That'll be really cool. So this next one has a story, and I'm glad I still have the original example. This is a story of great customer service and terrible shipping practices by someone. I got my copy of The White Wolf, Volume 3 in the Elric Saga, the ones that were republished by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press, and I opened it, and the box looked a little beat up, but just on like one corner, and it had the little plastic bubble stuff in there, so the book was safe. And I pull it out and I'm like, what the hell? There's like a scuffing. These pages were actually folded in, and then I looked at the bottom and there's like this huge ding like in the book itself, and I'm like, what the heck happened? And then look at this, it's torn, like the spine is completely busted, and it was right through the dust jacket and the book itself. Like, it's ripped really bad. I was very annoyed because it was the last one I needed. I got it from Book Outlet, and I know that their books are going to have like the Sharpie mark on them, which whatever, I don't care about that. I know collectors do, but I don't. That usually means that the book has been sold to like an outlet store or something. So whatever. It doesn't really matter. I didn't know about that even existing. There used to be a store in Denton that was a Book Outlet store where all of them had the Sharpie mark on them. I had no idea what that meant until someone pointed it out to me, but I was like, what do I care? The books are cheap. Also, why is Elric wearing an SS uniform on this cover? That's another thing. What's happening here? But aside from that, the book was busted. I took pictures of it. I sent it into Book Outlet and they said, hey, your new copy is on its way. Sorry that one was broken. You can keep it. You can sell it. You can donate it. We don't care. Just do whatever you want with the busted copy. So I'm probably just going to gift this to someone that wants a physical reader copy, because it's not like a collector copy, but I know quite a few people that they're in it for the reading. They don't care about collecting and they prefer physical. So I'll find someone that will take this book up. Yeah, they sent me an immaculate copy with a Sharpie mark. The other one didn't have a Sharpie mark. So I'm happy this is now complete. I have all of the Elric stuff in this new printing and a bunch of it in the old printing. So I have a bit of a problem with collecting Michael Moorcock stuff and then not reading enough of it. This is cool. I like the For Dummy stuff. I also like Cliff Note stuff. And it's not because I want to read it and then claim I read a book. I like to have this as a refresher. So I will skim something like this after reading. Well, this is Coriolanus by William Shakespeare. This hasn't been published in a Cliff Note style since the 60s. And boy, this smells like it's from the 60s. And I just thought it was really cool. I couldn't find it anywhere locally. And I bought this on eBay for 1 cent. I was looking through the auctions and saw that this was up and it had like 3 days left and it was going for a penny. So I said, you know, I'll pay up to $5 for this bad boy because I had like $4 shipping. And I won the auction at 1 cent. So I ended up paying like $4.86 shipped with tax and all that. I don't know how you tax 1 penny. Did they tax the shipping too? I don't know how any of that works, but this is really cool. I got a Cliff Note for Coriolanus because Coriolanus is the Shakespeare story that resonates with me the most out of the stuff I have read. I don't care about Romeo and Juliet. I don't care about King Henry. I don't care about Merchant of Venice. Like, they're fine. I understand why people like them. All the normie Shakespeare. I understand why people care about it, but it doesn't do anything for me. But this Coriolanus does, and I have not watched the movie. I should watch the movie. I only got 2 more, and I know I'm yapping real fast, but you know, that's the way of things. These next 2 are both from NESFA Press, who I will keep saying is one of the best publishers out there. They are doing some of the best work for preserving older science fiction and fantasy. Now, this one is Magic Mirrors by John Bellairs. This has The Face in the Frost and the incomplete sequel to The Face in the Frost, along with a preface from the editor, an introduction from Bruce Colville, a story called John and Me, written by Ellen Kushner. This is like a director's cut. Anytime you get an NESFA Press book, you're basically getting the director's cut or the director's commentary or something like that. You're getting the book you wanted, on top of having this really interesting stuff written by other people talking about the book. I have a John Myers collection from them, and it's really good. It has maps. It has all sorts of information. In the Silverlock book they published, just super cool. And then sometimes you get NESFA Press stuff like Sung in Blood from Glenn Cook. That was published because he was the guest of honor at their convention one year, and it's signed. And I have one from Walter John Williams that's not signed, but it's a really cool edition of a collection of his short fiction that some of those stories you can't get anywhere else. Lied. This other book is not from NESFA Press. It's Science Fiction Book Club, and I also have another couple of books after this. This is For to Dorsai by Gordon R. Dixon, who does have a book published by NESFA Press from when he was the guest of honor. But this is a science fiction series. It's like a space opera-y series. This is the first 4 books, and I have wanted to read Gordon R. Dixon for a really long time, and I'm very happy that I found this immaculate copy. This thing is in pristine shape, and it was $4. So love finding good deals. You know, as much as I love reading books, the hunt for books and the finding good deals and the scrounging around for rare things, just as good as reading them. Sometimes better. And I think that's it. Yeah, I covered these other books in a different book haul, so ignore that. Have you found any good books lately? I would like to know in the comments. Thanks for watching. And with that, I'll see you next time.